Right, a big welcome now to my friend Josh Rutherford from Amble to the non-league radio show. Josh is community coach at Huddersfield Town and foundation phase coach at Rochdale AFC, but we'll find out about them a bit later. So first up, Josh, I want to find out, go back to the start, your first memories of football and how you got involved at a young age.
So basically, my dad was a Sunderland fan and he took me to the Stadium of Light back in 1998 to watch Sunderland against Portsmouth. From that moment, I was hooked. I wanted to go every week. I wanted to be the next Kevin Phillips. And then I got into playing. Played for Amble Juniors. My dad managed them, then he passed it on to another coach, and then played all the way to 16. I was fortunate to get into the county, played for Northumberland FA, and played for some teams in the senior ranks, and then decided that coaching was the way forward, and there we are.
I was going to say, was there a point when you were playing football, thought, I'm not going to go anymore? Coaching's maybe the next way.
To be honest, I wasn't a bad goalkeeper, but if you look at me, I'm only 5'10". I'm very a small goalkeeper, and I probably got in the way height, but I wasn't a bad shot stopper. I could, play a bit on the floor distribution, but I was constantly struggling for corners and wide areas, balls into the box, and I just thought, that's it, I'm not going to make it, so why not go into coaching?
So what was your first coaching role?
So I basically I went to Newcastle College, and we got told to go on placements. A lot of the lads went to Newcastle United Foundation. Some lads went to Gateshead College, but me and a mate of mine, Jamie, we decided to set one coaching venture up at Stobswood, called Tiny Woods Academy, and from then on we grew from strength to strength. Was fortunate to make connections, and we got some real top guests to come and inspire the kids. People like Nobby Solano, Olivia Bernard, Julio Arca, Gary Bennett, Kevin Ball. Newcastle Sunderland legends. But yeah, that's how I got into basically coaching. I did my FA level 1 at the age of 16 and progressed from there and went on to do some college courses and moved on to level 2s and futsals and goalkeeping courses, and it's made us hopefully an all-rounded coach.
So I was going to ask about the coaching and the things you need. So what sort of time period are we talking? Say if you want to get involved in coaching.
Well, I got in when I was 16-year-old. I went and did my FA level 1 at Hurst Welfare in Ashington. A week course, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then by the end of the week I was a level 1 coach. Then a couple of years later I did my level 2 and then moved on to doing your youth modules. I've done my futsals, my disability coaching, power chair, goalkeeping, various other courses. So then I've just went recently 2 years ago, but COVID got in the way. Passed my UEFA B. Now I'm looking to push on and get on at my Advanced Youth Award with Rochdale, and next move is hopefully UEFA A and then on to the Pro licence in years to come.
So when I first met up with you, you were doing Amble Juniors, I believe.
Yeah.
So you went from Amble Juniors to, was it Morpeth?
Morpeth Town Reserves. I did a spell there. A friend of mine and an ex-teammate, Nicky, got in touch with us and asked us to come along and try and help the players with that little bit of a transition from grassroots to senior football in the Lions. They were bottom of the league, rock bottom. I think we stabilised it a bit and got some wins and progressed them up. And then obviously, I just decided to take a step back from there. Then I got a call from a friend of mine, Kane, and Mark at Gateshead, asked us to come in. and I took charge of Gateshead D3. I'm sure the lads will be listening to this, but
you can give a few names out.
Yeah, go on and no, I'll let them guess who I'm talking about. But then Mark asked me just to go and get the boys to enjoy the game, because a lot of them were just coming in and playing on the Wednesday and not training on the Monday and Tuesday, just expecting to play on the Wednesday. But it's probably one of my biggest success stories, to be honest. I got the lads, got them all in, got a squad of 25, and I just told them, you can't just turn up on a Wednesday and expect to play and then just turn up next Wednesday and then Wednesday after. I says you're training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, training Monday, Tuesday, game Wednesday, and then like a bit of a recovery session on a Friday, and we ended up winning the league. We only lost once, and we won it in dramatic fashion. We scored a last-minute penalty to beat Middlesbrough, but it was special times. Really good.
I've seen the photos online.
The video when Ben, there you go, Ben, you get your shout out. Sticks the penalty away last minute, and it meant a lot to them lads, and it meant a lot to me, because obviously, people have talk about success. There's always a story in behind about rejections and stuff like that, and your setbacks and people who doubt you, and you get turned down and things happen, and and then to bounce back, because that's what I've been instilled from my parents from a young age. Obviously, people just look at me as a human being, but they sometimes forget I've got a disability, and I've been instilled from a young age for perseverance and resilience, and that was a really nice way to end it. Then it was just a mad summer, really, because when I got into Gateshead and managing 11 aside and getting the buzz from a result on a Wednesday, I decided, it's time to really kick on and get something full time, because also, where we are geographically, struggle. We're 30 miles away from Newcastle, 42 miles away from my team, Sunderland. So I applied for several jobs, and
I bumped into you.
You bumped into us.
Morrison's when you were quite low.
I was quite fed up.
And I was trying to...
I've just been to another job's just being whipped under my feet, and you just don't think it's coming. Then I took a week off work, and I went down to Yorkshire and stayed with family, and I had 2 interviews, and then all of a sudden I got offered a job at Huddersfield town, and I was like, well, I'm good. I just got in the car basically on a Sunday, started on the Monday, and I stopped at my uncle's in Sheffield for 2 or 3 weeks until I found a flat, and then I was sitting at his house and on the laptop, and I sent my CV, because a full-time job, yeah, fair enough, but I want to be in an academy. I want to be in full-time football in terms of an academy role, and I sent CVs off, and then Rochdale rang us the next day, and I went on the Tuesday night for an interview, like a session, like an interview, got that role, and then I was in a flat, and all of a sudden, just from that rejection to having a full-time job, a part-time academy role, and a flat, just, that's funny how things work out in the end, don't they?
Yeah, and I was going to ask about the 2 different roles here. The foundation phase coach. Yeah. Explain the 2 different roles, obviously the one for Huddersfield and the one for Rochdale.
So basically the one at Huddersfield is a community coach. Obviously it's coaching in the community, basically going into schools, delivering Premier League, primary stars, doing after school clubs, lunch clubs. We've got a programme called Tomorrow's Terriers. So that is a bit of, and then obviously it's match day work. Looking after the ball boys, giving them experience from the kicks programme. But 2 weeks time, Huddersfield plays Sunderland, so I've got to be careful what I do. Yeah, so But yeah, and then the foundation phase is basically I'm a under-9s coach. I coach alongside a very good coach, Jake Gardner. And we do Rochdale AFC under-9s. We'll play like a EFL schoolboys program on a Sunday, train on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And we'll come up against some teams like, we've had a reasonable start of the season. But again, it's not about results. Our focus is basically helping individuals and trying to get contracts for next season. But yeah.
I know obviously you're coaching children as well. What's some of the biggest challenges involved? Or do you find the biggest challenges?
Biggest challenge for me in terms of coaching children is engagement. You've got to keep the kids engaged. It's different levels, it's different ends of the spectrum. So for a community coach, I've got to keep it fun, just engaged, enjoyable, and for them just to come to the next session. But when I drive down the M62 to go to Rochdale on a Tuesday night and a Thursday night, it's different ends because it's technical, it's tactical. It's all about the fun for the kids at Huddersfield, but Rochdale is technical. Of course, it's got to be fun as well. It's all about playing the club's philosophy as well. So,
and is this you working every day of the week, just about, or
just about? Yeah,
must be hard to switch off on a night time when
it is actually. You know what it is. I find myself when I get in a flat and wind down, and there's a game on. I sometimes struggle to watch it. Yeah, because it's just obviously I'm obsessed with football. Yeah, I have been from a young age. But I find it hard to, watch a game of football unless it's Sunderland or obviously Sheffield Wednesday because my mother's side of the family are Wednesdayites, and I struggle to watch other games.
Well, I can't watch my team Newcastle. I couldn't because I get too wound up. Yeah. So I watch other games. It's stupid, but I watch another game because I get
like I say, I watch any game of football, but just when you're working constantly.
Yeah.
Maybe a Sunday when I get in about 2:00 and sit and watch Super Sunday and then just watch it. But in terms of on a Monday, the Champions League and that, you should be watching that because it's the best, club competition in the world. But you find it hard to engage because you're tired.
So you touched on your UEFA coaching.
Yeah.
Is it the next step up a massive? Is it I don't know what's involved. Is it
To be honest, I really don't know myself. But in terms of the next steps for me is my Advanced Youth Award. I'm going to go and apply for that in April. Hopefully I can get on with it. And once I get onto that, it could be a good step for me to get onto my UEFA A. And then once I get onto my UEFA A, and it hopefully helps us to get a full-time job in an academy and push on, So I'm ambitious. I don't want to just stand still.
And that's one of the things I've got on the list to ask you is your dreams and aspirations for the future.
Well, of course, everybody's dream is to coach or play for the team I support, and mine's no different. Whether it's academy or first team, people are just probably laugh now. Everybody's got to have ambition, and I've always been ambitious. Probably too ambitious, they say. I used to get called the little man with big ideas. I still am. I've always had big ideas. When I was at Tiny Woods, for example, people were like, "What are you doing? Why are you trying to get Nobby Solano?" And I'm like, "Why not? Why not?" Then Nobby Solano's sitting at Tiny Woods Academy at Stoves of Welfare, bending in free kicks and eating chicken soup. Because he asked me and Nathan Buddle to go and get some chicken soup from the co-op at Widdy Co-op. And then, you look back and you go, wow, that really happened. But yeah.
I know I touched earlier about giving people a shout out, but you really can if you want to say anything.
I know. There'll be a few people listening to this for a bedtime story, no doubt. That's what I normally say to Buddle, Nathan.
So, obviously, the role you're doing now is like from like you say, it's a massive step.
Yeah,
and you've had to move away from home as well. So that's that's got to be a big step for anybody.
It's a massive step because it all happened very quickly. Really did. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew where I wanted to go. Then as soon as it happened, it was a massive, quick turnaround. having to say goodbye, because obviously I'm a home bird. I've been in Amble all my life, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later, obviously I was stopping at my Uncle Paul's, and driving from Sheffield to Huddersfield, and then I got my flat. But like, quick turnaround, massive turnaround, and it made us sound daft, but I was 30 yesterday, and it's made us grow up. Living on my own, making my own tea, doing my own washing, massive little things like that you don't realise, and you get away, and then it's good to get away as well. So if anybody's thinking about their career, I suggest, especially where you are geographically, just have a look around where you are and the noise around you, and take the jump, because it's the best thing I've done. Excellent.
Well, it's been great talking to you.
Thank you very
much.
much.
I know you're going out tonight. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to follow Josh, everyone, on Twitter at jruddy_1. I don't know if Josh wants to shout if there's anything else links-wise he wants to give out.
No, just like I say, just to hope for the boys who currently at Gateshead, who were under me last year, keep kicking on. And the last couple of weeks I bumped into Kane and Mark, seeing the 17s and 18s at Halifax and Bradford, but I hope they just kick on and secure professional contracts at Gateshead. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Good stuff. Thank you very much for being on the show.
No problem. Pleasure.